Check 1, 2. FatMack, Big Mike, man, in full of phys ed, man, with my player partner, man, Tony Maceo, Magnus, Tony Dreamer, nigga Fuchsius, whatever you want to call him, man. We back in the game. And yes, bitches, I am still alive. I've had, a lot of things going on in my life right about now. I had some technical difficulties with my computer, had some technical difficulties with my phone, and I've had a little bit of family bullshit as well as some things going on with some females that I know that I care about. This kind of got me down in the dumps a little bit, man, but I'm back. My boy Tony been like, man, what's going on? Let's get it poppin', man. I've been putting my boy Tony on hold, man, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't Tony's fault, man, it's me. So, but as promised, I done told y'all, we gonna go ahead and elaborate on my little foray into the world of the court system, man, which is nightmarish. You know what I mean? And my boy Tony, he gonna be pulling most of the weight on this joint, no doubt, because I don't even remember half the shit that we did that was just, man, the courts were just cock blocking on. So once again, let me just get my boy in here, Tony, man, just to say what's up to the people, man. You can start it on off. Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, what's happening to everybody out there? Once again, we are back. And, hey, we here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out. Let me go ahead and lay the groundwork, man. Let y'all know what was going on with me. And I had a little something going on with this entity called the State California Tax Franchise Board. These people were accusing me of owing them money from the year 2011. And I'm like, taxes? Who are you people, and why are you? Well, basically, let me just go ahead and say that. They had got in my bank account. They was taking money out my shit, man. And I'm like, can y'all prove this debt? I mean, have y'all done your due diligence? I mean, your homework to make sure I'm the right person? Their response was basically, fuck you, pay me. Okay, you owe us $14,000 in taxes from California. I'm like, bitch, I don't live in California. Never have I lived in it. I don't owe you this money. You need to go ahead and show me and prove the debt. They wouldn't do it. They just kept going into my bank account. You know what I mean? So I got to the point where it was just I had to consult the consigliere because these motherfuckers wasn't gonna listen to me, man. So I had to get some help, man, on some more professional shit. Even though he's not licensed, but shit, fuck a license. He know 10 times more than most of these so-called licensed motherfuckers, man. So I asked Tony, what should I do? I have an entity, which I think is fraudulent, going into my bank account. They're claiming they're a tax entity from California, and they weren't taking big amounts of money because y'all know me, I'm paranoid. So I don't put a lot of money or leave a lot of money in my bank account. You know what I mean? They was getting $20 here, $15 there. As soon as my money hit my bank, man, I take my money out. So they wasn't knocking me for no serious shit, but it was still a violation, a serious violation, man. How somebody can just go into your bank account with no proof of, them actually, or of you actually owing them shit. They just got in my stuff, man. So, we're going to tell you about what we did and, the court systems and how weird it is. Go ahead, Tony, lead off, man. My chops ain't here, so go ahead. Do the thing.
Well, I mean, you couldn't get them to listen.
Right.
You couldn't get these motherfuckers to listen. It's like, okay, if I owe you, prove that I owe you.
Right.
It's like, no, we're not proving shit. As a matter of fact, send me your tax returns. Excuse me? I don't think I heard you right. You want me to send you my tax returns with my Social Security information. You've already gone into my account, but you want my tax returns.
Right.
Send me the basis of the debt. Send me something to show or prove that I owe you, which you're entitled to.
Right.
And they said,
no,
send us your tax returns.
Yeah, man.
They said, okay, cease and desist letter. Stop going in my shit till you show me proof of the debt. Nope, we going in your shit again. Okay. When faced with somebody like that, it ain't but one thing you can do.
Yeah, cause see, I thought they Yeah, I thought they had left me alone for a while because, I don't know, for a period of maybe 6 months, I didn't hear from them again. You know what I mean? After that cease and desist letter. And then they started going back at my shit again, and that's when I brought that up to you, and you was like, dog, there's only one way to handle this. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we handled it.
You know, they say that war is politics with bloodshed, and politics is war without bloodshed. But law is how politics initiates war.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Law is how politics does war. So if you can't get them to stay out of your shit, you can't give them, the basis. They won't give you the basis of why you owe them. They won't show you proof of why you owe them. They won't give you shit. What this is a very, very simple issue here. One motherfucker saying, I'm going to fuck you up. What you going to do about it?
Right.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm going to do to you. What are you going to do about it? This is a question, essentially, of power. It's not a question of anything else. It's a question of power. We going to go in your shit because we can. And so there's only one way to communicate with a bully. You have to hit them in the face. And the way to knock the hell out of them, in this instance, we had to sue them.
Only thing power respects is power.
Yeah. The only thing power respects is power. It's not the nature of power to back up from anything else but some more power. So you're sitting there trying to say, please show me something, please. No, we're not showing you shit. We don't have to. Oh, no? Okay, normally, the average motherfucker that you would send this to, they would pony up and capitulate, but we don't do that here.
Right.
No, we don't do that here. You're not dealing with bitches. You're not dealing with cowards. We're going to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did we do? We sued them.
I was like, nigga, hey, let me back up because I was still tripping off this because I'm like, is this a real bona fide entity? Because it was just, everything about it was just so fraudulent, man. I couldn't believe that this was actually, a real tax entity, man. And so me and you, we did research, got online, and we actually found that these motherfuckers is real. They actually, a legitimate tax entity sent out to collect shit from people, man. I couldn't believe because they stuff is just so janky, man. Even down to the documents they sent, man. It all
was mad niggerish.
Yeah, mad niggerish, man. Yeah, proceed, man.
And so we said, okay, you won't give no proof. And I think it was the same bitch on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we said, okay, it's only one way to communicate with a motherfucker like this. You have to hit them where it hurts. You grab them by the throat. So we sued them. And we drew up a list of complaints, a list of counts, and filed a suit and served it on them. And lo and behold, when they got the suit, what did they do?
Shit, well,
first, they actually took the time to see if you owed them, which is what you should have done anyway. So we said, okay, well, let's amend this and let's change it. We amended the complaint. We went through quite, a bit of research. I think we must have spent, damn near the whole day at the law library?
At least 2-3 hours of pop downtown, man, on the particular days that we went down there, man.
Shit, we were down there for more than 2 or 3 days, man.
No, not 2 or 3 days. I said 2 or 3 hours of pop in the library.
Then just getting the shit filed, that was an adventure.
Yeah, I'm talking about the law library. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean, and then when we had to deal with the bureaucracy of the courts, that was an adventure.
Well, let's start with the what is that? The violation of due process. We were trying to get an injunctive relief, basically to get them to stay out of my bank account, and we basically cited case law stating that what was that? The violation of due process. Oh my nigga, come on. No. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a new phone, but I guess some motherfucking things never change.
Well, the reception's a lot better, man. But like I said,
Okay.
yeah, the concept of injunctive relief and the violation of due process.
Yeah. So basically what we did was we came up with counts and we sued it. So then first thing we did, we hit the law library. We had to do the legal research. And we do the complaint, went down and filed it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the motherfucker got the complaint, the first thing they did was they checked their records. Well, that's what we ask you to do before you even start taking money.
Right.
So now all of a sudden they remember what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so once they got the complaint, you talk to them.
Right.
You tell them what happened when she called you after. Well, first of all, when you said...
Hold on. The audio is real bad all of a sudden, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but shit, sound like you was in a kitchen or something. Cause there's a lot of echo. I am in the kitchen. Is this better? Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. What happened was that initially when you said you were suing,
mm-hmm.
She was like, no, you can't do that.
Yep, that's what they told me. Yeah. She's like, no, you can't do that. And then she was still like, well, you need to send us you need to send me your tax records and this could all be over. I'm like, the nerve of this bitch. I'm like, no. I'm like, you need to prove the debt. Send me an accounting of the debt, which she would never do. All she would just say is, send me your tax records. Send me your tax records. It was just unbelievable. I was like, man.
And after they got the suit, what did she say? Did they call after they were served the suit?
Right. Well, first of all, they, which was hilarious when they did this, because we served them. And then the broad said, well, even though you served us, you really didn't serve us because you didn't send it to the right place for it to be served. But I'm like, broad, you on the phone talking to me, which proves you got served because you're talking about the service.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy. They were trying to play these little mind games, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've been served, but she denied the service, even though she acknowledged that she got served.
The thing is that they thought they didn't know who they were dealing with.
Right.
They had no clue who they were dealing with. See, service, and I put this in my podcast.
Right.
Service has to be reasonably calculated to let you know that you're being sued.
Okay.
Period. And we served them at the addresses that they had on record. One address for the central office and one address for the field office.
Mm-hmm.
Now, under any state's law, that is valid service.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell these was just niggas spitting a party line. See, state entities are filled with people that don't know what the hell they're doing. So what they're doing is they're reading off of a script. Mm-hmm. But anything that happens outside of that script, they lost.
Right.
They're done. If it doesn't occur inside of that little script that they're reading on from that computer screen, from that display, they're done. So what you have is a bunch of stupid-ass people in bureaucracy trying to masquerade as officials with some type of real authority.
Okay.
And they don't have any type of real authority. It's just, listen to me because I am who I am. And basically, you gave the motherfuckers the finger. No, I'm not listening to you. Because you're a fucking idiot.
And let me say this, man, because like I said, it was obvious that they was schooled in the art of skullduggery, as Mike Tyson would say, because like on all the documents that they sent, they made sure it would be hard for you to contact them or to even hit them with any sort of legal paperwork, because everything was P.O. Box, and there was always a 1-800 number going to some low-level schmuck, you know what I mean? So me and you had to get online and actually find out where their field offices were, you know what I mean, in order to serve them the lawsuit, you know what I mean? But because it wasn't on any of the paperwork they sent, all the so-called phone numbers they was given was bullshit. You know, it's like, oh, it's obvious to see what y'all doing. You know what I mean? Because y'all don't want anyone to bite back. Therefore, you leave or you give out paperwork where we can't find you and we can't really essentially contact you. You know what I'm saying? But shit, thank God for Google or Google Earth. We found you, bitch. We found your offices, and we sent it to 3 separate offices just so they couldn't say that they didn't get served.
The name of the game is to frustrate you. That's how what they do is they run you around so they wear holes in your shoes.
Right.
And then after they run you around, they hoping that you go just give up and just give them what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't realize, again, who they were fucking with. They had no clue. So they didn't think that we were smart enough to actually find where they were. We definitely didn't think that we had the balls to sue them.
Right.
Niggas suing us?
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
You know. So then what happened was when we did that and when we served them, oh, this is real now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bitch, it's real.
Oh, my God, man. Yeah.
And then when they got the suit and they looked at that shit, you know, because usually when people file a lawsuit, if they don't know anything about the law, they walk in and get the court forms, they write the shit in pencil or in pen and serve it and all that. Mm-hmm. That's not the way the suit came.
Mm-hmm.
The lawsuit came set up, broken down by counts, organized into paragraphs, into a form that is recognizable.
Right.
And it's drawn up by any lawyer in any court of law. This nigga's doing this in pro per or in pro se,
right?
Which causes another problem
here,
which causes us a degree of misery here. But the thing here that I want to get across to people is that you have to understand the terms of engagement. If you're going to go to war with a state institution or a government institution, you have to understand what are the terms of engagement. Mm-hmm. And we knew what the terms of engagement were. We knew.
Man.
So when they got it, they said, oh, well, damn, he's suing us, so he must really be telling the truth. No shit, yeah, he is telling the truth.
But this one got me. But check it out. This one got me, right? This is a Sacramento, California. Now, this is a tax entity, so-called tax collections, this franchise tax board. Number one, we didn't even know, you know, like, is this for a business? Is it property tax? I mean, what is it? You know what I mean? And so I'm telling these people, well, because they actually gave me the phone number to, what was it, the tax assessors? Who is it?
The county tax assessor.
Yeah, hey, you're breaking up real bad again. But yeah.
The county tax assessor's office.
Yeah, and so I even called them, and they was like, who are you and what are you talking about? I'm like, well, the California State Franchise Tax Board says that I owe you money in Sacramento County. They're like, no, we don't have any record of that or who you are. We don't know what you're talking about. So I got back with, I can't remember her name. Anyway, the Franchise Tax Board, and I said, look, man, all you got to do is contact the people that is within your county, and they will tell you that this is bullshit. That they don't have any record of me owing any taxes. They were just like, send us your tax information. Send us your tax information. I'm like,
which is suspect because if they're a tax entity, they should have access to your tax information.
Yeah. See
how bootleg that shit is?
Yeah.
You are a tax entity, but yet you want my tax information.
Mm-hmm.
But you got into my account. But you want my personal tax information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, we're not giving you that. No, that's not going to happen. You're not getting that. What you're going to get is this fucking suit. That's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then after they got the suit, well, apparently they made a mistake, according to them.
Mm-hmm.
They made a mistake.
Right.
You know, and then of course they went ahead and wiped out the debt. But here we had to deal with the ramifications on our end of filing the suit.
Right.
You know, so here come 2 niggas filing a suit against the state of California. Our courts looked at us like, are you niggas crazy?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, You filed an in pro se, and we asked for injunctions, preliminary injunctions, and restraining orders. And our courts were like, no, we don't understand this.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Must be off the rock.
Hold on one second. We gotta let the cats know. In pro se basically means we not hiring a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just me and him going in there, balls to the wall, doing it. Two fat trick niggas, you know what I'm saying? Doing the damn thing. That's about it. In pro se. But go ahead.
Yeah, so we walk in there, we draw it up in pro se, go in front of the court. The court look at us like we crazy. They look at us like we are absolutely out of it. And the judge is like, well, there are issues here with jurisdiction. Okay, that's in the complaint. And that was the first, like you said, a crash course in fuckery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got an education into the fuckery of the American court system.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we filed it, we went in front of the judge that day. And first of all, before we even went in front of the judge, we went in front of I'm sorry to say this, some black hood rat bitch who tried to tell us we was in the wrong place.
Oh, okay, you talking about that female. Yeah.
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 And who were the ones to straighten the situation out?
Becky.
It was a Becky.
Beautiful Becky. I love you, Becky. Yeah, man. The Beckys were super helpful and was knowledgeable about the job she was doing, man. They were like clerks. Were they law clerks? What were they?
No, they were court clerks. They were court clerks.
Yeah, court clerks. Yeah. Yeah, man. That was bizarre, man.
So we go in front of the judge. Of course, he don't understand the case, so he won't give us the TRO. So he sets a hearing in front of the magistrate, who likewise doesn't give us the TRO or the injunction. I said, okay, I know what this is.
Break down what TRO is. They don't know what...
TRO is a temporary restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing with a temporary restraining order is to tell the court to prevent the other side from doing something until you're heard in the court on whatever the case is. What you're doing, you want the court to issue an order to stop the other side from performing some function until you can adjudicate the matter or get a ruling from the court as to whether you're liable.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a TRO is. Mm-hmm. So we got denied the TRO by both the judge and the magistrate. So then we went in front of the magistrate. We went back down there again and drew up a brief to, summarize the issues in front of the judge that we thought would be of some concern.
Right.
Okay? And we put in there about the issue of jurisdiction to show we had jurisdiction. The case arose here because they reached into your bank account here,
mm-hmm.
and they took money from a Montgomery County resident here.
Mm-hmm.
So we had jurisdiction under the long-arm statute of the state. And we talked about due process. We went into detail about due process. It was, the way the brief was put together, it answered any possible question they had.
Mm-hmm.
Did them motherfuckers read that shit?
Obviously not. Or if they did read it, they didn't give a fuck. Because every other lawyer that we talked to that was walking around that courthouse basically said that we was on point.
Yes.
Every lawyer we talked to was like, I don't see what the problem is. I don't see why they denied it. But I know why they denied it. Shit. Because we was black and well, they didn't have any faith in our so-called research abilities. But it's like, you don't have to have faith in it. It's right there in black and white. You can look it up if you want. But they didn't, man. It was just bizarre, man. You could tell that justice didn't equate into this at all, man. It was just the appearance of how it would look, you know what I mean, to their peers. Or, I was like, are they reading this? Do they even give a shit? Are they actually like trying to uphold the law here? Because I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? That the law absolutely doesn't have anything to do with their decisions here, because we lined it out. The T's were crossed and the I's was dotted. Everything laid out in black and white. There was no way that they should come to the conclusion that I can't get injunctive relief or my TRO. It's obvious.
But again, it was two niggas in there. They wasn't gonna let two niggas without the assistance of counsel get them to hold up the entire state of California.
Okay.
That's just what it was. So even though the brief was put together, even though the complaint was put together, and we even amended the complaint and asserted federal claims and state constitutional claims, they still was like, okay, whatever. And then when that day when we went in front of them, and the woman was talking about, show me, what your irreparable harm, and I'm gonna back up and explain what that is.
Okay.
Whenever you ask for a preliminary injunction or a temporary restraining order, you have to show what's called an irreparable harm. An irreparable harm is a harm that cannot be made whole with money. Mm-hmm. In other words, they can't cash you out and fix the situation.
Okay. In
this case, the irreparable harm was that they judged you liable for a tax debt without a hearing. Mm-hmm. You were not afforded the due process to say, I don't owe this money. Mm. You understand?
Yeah.
So without the ability to protest whether or not you owe it, that's not a harm that money can fix. Money cannot give you back the right to say that you don't owe it and that you're not liable. Okay? Yeah. So that is the harm, the irreparable harm for that particular case. And they act like they couldn't understand that. They act like they couldn't understand that. Yeah. And that brings me to another point that I talked about in my series, A Game for the People. Mm-hmm. You guys think that these judges are all-knowing. The truth is they're not.
Well, no doubt.
The judges are not masters of the law. Where these judges come from, they come from a specific, specialized practice of law. So in other words, if you are in court asking for child support, some type of, not child support, child custody, or you're in family law, or you're going through issues related to the division of property, you think that your judge understands property law. But your judge comes from the prosecutor's office. He don't know a damn thing about property law, but he's deciding how your property is going to be split. You give these guys too much credit. You assume that they know. And what most people don't know, and again, I said this in Game for the People, a lot of times the judges are running their courts based upon an instruction manual that they get from the Supreme Court that tells them what to rule in each case. But the problem is that in our case, when the fact pattern or the situation steps outside of what's in their rule book, they just say no.
They scared. They scared. Shit.
So they these two niggas in here with a case they didn't understand. And by they, I mean the judges. Mm-hmm. They didn't understand. And when you told her due process on the record, when you told that bitch due process on the record, she swore up and down that wasn't due process.
And then she goes ahead and gives an example about the house, which basically mirrored what me and you was trying to, show her.
Yeah.
About the, go ahead.
And she absolutely refused to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we stepped outside and we explained that, they were like, yeah. All the other attorneys were like, yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, well, and then to compound the matter was the fact that the other side didn't even show up.
Yeah. She arguing a point, which, from what I was hearing, was basically not really supposed to happen. If they don't show up, they just don't show up. I'm supposed to just get what I want because they didn't contest it.
That's called a default judgment. You're supposed to win by default because they didn't show up to contest anything you say. And so she got on record arguing their position. And I took a look at that and said, I know what this is. I know what this is. And so, again, understanding the system, I said, let me put this in a language you understand. Mm-hmm. So I went and found a good old trusty Jim.
Mm-hmm. Nice, pretty white face.
Mm-hmm. I went and got a white cosigner. I went and got a white Jewish co-signer, one of her colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing he did was he filed an appearance and went back in there and told her everything I already said.
Mm-hmm. Now she understands it all of a sudden.
Yeah. Now it's understandable.
Wouldn't understand it when it was coming from us.
No. With us, it was like we speaking goddamn Swahili, or we speaking some type of alien language. You don't understand what the fuck we talking about, even though it's in black and white. And the killing part was that the state itself admitted they were wrong. The state themselves said that they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you arguing for the state when the state is clearly admitting that they're at fault? What kind of retarded shit is that?
Yeah, man.
You know, I said, okay. And then remember when we got in the elevator, I said, and we were in the elevator with a couple of lawyers, I said, he only did that. I was younger at the time. I said, well, he only did that because we were in there. I said, I'd give the same goddamn piece of paper to him. And I pointed to the lawyer in the elevator. Mm-hmm. I said, we get the same piece of paper to him, and he'll go right back in there and get their TRO.
Exactly.
And so they said, no, until we got a white cosigner.
Mm-hmm.
Once we got a white cosigner who I knew, and he went in there, and basically all he did was file an appearance. He didn't do shit else. He filed an appearance, and then went in there and put everything you said on record. And then what happened instantly?
Shit. Got signed off on.
The meter changed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, she was real snippy and combative with us, man. It was crazy. I was like, dang.
Yeah. She was calling the attorney by his first name and smiling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then when we got back in there to show you how out of step she was like, I don't even know why this case is in front of me.
It's like, oh, really now? Okay. Like, you don't get two shits. You ain't checking none of your...
It's just in front of you because y'all set the court dates for us to appear here. What the fuck do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is why, I'm sorry, women should not be in positions of authority. I'm sorry. You can call me chauvinist, you can call me whatever you want to call me, you can call me sexist. Women should not be in positions of power.
They be trying real hard to motherfucking make sure you know that they the boss.
Yes.
Oh.
They're going to go out of their way to emasculate you, to let you know that they are in charge. So we sitting there, she come out, she don't know why we're there. Bitch, we're there because you set these dates.
We don't want to be...
You don't know why we're there.
Yeah, we don't want to be here either. But shit, you the one keep dragging us back here for nothing.
Yeah.
She just signed off on it a month ago. Shit.
Yeah. Just give us, and then when we filed for a default judgment, you should have just gave us the fucking default judgment and let us go went on about our business. You set this date for us to be here, and then when we showed up with the white cosign, it was all gravy.
Mm-hmm.
We was out of there in 15 minutes?
Shit.
I didn't think it was that long.
Nah, maybe 10.
And then what happened was when we walked in there with him, she signed that judgment the same day.
Right. Mm-hmm. Shoot.
She signed them on the same day. You know.
Yeah, part of me wanted to go in there without a white face because I was just curious to see what other stupid shit can they come up with to try and stop us from winning this thing. You know what I'm saying? I was just curious. I was like, man, every step of the way, they always throwing something in the mix stating that, no, we can't sign off on it. You know, I was real curious. I wanted to know what else could, but my patience was running thin. I was just like, nah, we gonna go ahead and slide the Jew, the big homie, a little bit of cheese going in there and, you know, have that business and be done with this shit. But I was real curious, man. I'm like, what else could they do to actually try and stop us from winning this goddamn thing, man?
You know what they would have done? They would have came up with a jurisdiction argument, which would have been especially retarded since we've already resolved the issue of jurisdiction.
Right.
They were going to find that what they were going to do. They were going to say, "Well, I don't think I have jurisdiction." That's exactly what they were going to do. They were going to make a jurisdictional argument, and they were going to come up with this crazy shit about this is an isolated incident, and you know we don't have jurisdiction. Therefore, she probably would have dismissed that case. But But what she did was she called herself trying to be fair and said, well, okay, I'm not going to give you the injunctive relief, but I'll keep your claim for money damages, alive. Mm-hmm. And my point was, okay, what good is the claim for money damages if you don't stop these motherfuckers from going in my account?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Without me having the opportunity to protest whether I owe the money.
Shit. And everything we supplied, we was in the right.
Exactly.
Everything we supplied, man, was meticulously researched, man, to show that we was on point with what we was talking about. But, if it would have been one of them getting lambasted and getting to, what is it, what I'm looking for? Just basically getting taken advantage of, man, they would have been the first ones to, get a TRO. They would stop motherfuckers
but
going to
the thing was, and we even supplied the defendant's own records.
Mm. Yeah.
We supplied the defendant's own records.
Mm-hmm.
The defendant's own records show their culpability.
Mm-hmm.
But that still wasn't enough for the court. Until we got the white cosign.
Oh my God, man.
White cosigner jumped on the scene, automatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's official like a referee with a whistle.
Mm-hmm.
When that white guy walked into that court, and even he said it.
Mm-hmm.
Even he said it.
Right.
He said it's because you guys are pro se, that's why they're doing this.
Right. Mm. So tell me this, do you think it's a little bit of both or just one or the other? Like, of course, there's the racial component, and then there's the pro se component where we're not in the club and we're not supposed to actually.
It was both.
It's both, okay.
It was both. It wasn't just the racial component. It was the component, one, that we were pro se and we didn't think we knew what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Even though the documents prove that we know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the documents, the stuff we're filing, shows that we know what the fuck we're talking about, and we have a highly, highly effective argument using the documentary evidence of the defendant.
Mm.
Even though we got that, we still don't know what we're talking about.
Mm.
Because we pro se, we can't possibly understand complex legal issues. Well, and this wasn't a complex legal issue. It was fairly simple and fairly straightforward.
Okay.
You were in the right, period.
Damn, boy.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the white cosigner came down the pike and said, look, this is what happened, this is why we're here, and he said this was wrong. He was like, this is crazy. The scary part is they were able to get into your account.
Mm-hmm.
Even he knew that this was fuckery. And so what happened was when he came on the scene, we had the evidentiary hearing, and again, she signed that order the same damn day. Yeah. And then what happened? A week later, the judge that denied us the TRO affirmed her order. Right. He signed the order too, in other words. That's what that means. He agreed with her signing the order.
Mm.
So in essence, the same judge that a month ago was talking about how complex the case was, that was talking about all the issues involved, turned around and signed off the order when the magistrate signed off the order. Mm. And the magistrate signed off the order because we had a white cosigner. To this day, that woman still don't know the legal issues surrounding it. That woman don't even know what that case is. To this day.
Yeah,
if you walk into her office right now,
right,
and then call the caption of that case out, the FatMack versus the California State Franchise Council, she don't know what that shit's about. Mm-hmm. And that brings me to another issue. Y'all think these courts and these judges, well, those people don't read those cases.
They can't. There's no way.
They don't know what those cases are, and they don't read those damn briefs. They sit there and decide those cases based upon an interpretation, a weak interpretation that they have. And a lot of times it's based upon either outdated or outmoded or bad law, or it's based on, I'm going to say it, their own personal prejudices. Mm-hmm. Stop this shit about judges don't have, they're impartial. That's bullshit. Judges are not impartial. There was a quote from the scene from the movie Time to Kill with Samuel Jackson. And Matthew McConaughey said that we would like to think that the law justice is blind. So justice is not blind because the eyes of justice are the eyes of human eyes. And as humans, we see things through the reflection of our own biases and prejudices. Judges are no different. Stop this shit about them being impartial. They are not impartial. If they can't understand the case, or if in some cases they find the person particularly reprehensible, they're going to do everything in their power to not grant that person a favorable outcome or decision. They're going to do some bullshit-ass, liberal, come-down-the-middle-ass judgment that's going to rob somebody of their rights under the law.
That's what it felt like was happening to me. I felt like they low-key trying to stack the deck, man.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
They always, what happens is they're using impartiality to cut your fucking head to the fat meat, when they should be ruling for you if you are within the bounds of the law. They're going to use impartiality to fuck you instead of giving a decisive ruling in your favor. That's what they do. It just happened with Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura sued Chris Kyle, the American Sniper case. Ventura went to court, won a jury verdict, and went to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. And two judges, see, they were slick. They knew they couldn't overturn the jury verdict, so they overturned the court case on other grounds. And they made it purposely, they made it explicitly clear that even if he went back to the lower court and won there on those grounds, they were going to overturn it again.
Okay.
So in essence, they were not going to let Jesse Ventura win. So what he had to do was settle out of court with the defendants, which was Chris Kyle's family. They came to a huge cash settlement, and as Governor Ventura was saying, he said, my apology is in the bank.
Okay.
He didn't even want an apology. He wanted a definitive ruling that these people were wrong. And the court denied him that ruling because they thought that he was a reprehensible person. A morally irreprehensible person.
Yep. Their personal feelings do factor into it big time.
Yes.
I can tell. I can definitely tell. I'm like, what is the
deal? No question. So stop thinking that they're not. So what we learned from this crash course in fuckery, one, a lot of times judges don't know what the fuck they're doing. Two, they don't know those cases, and they are just as clueless about the law as the litigants. And three, if they have their own personal biases and personal judgments, that's going to factor into any ruling they give.
Shit. And also another factor that goes into this, man, when it comes to like lawsuits, you being done wrong, you got an entity trying to screw you over. One of the things that they do count on is the fact that it takes money to basically drive a court case, and when you have like a big entity like, the Franchise Tax Board of California, they got big pockets, and then you got to go get a lawyer. You know what I mean? You got to, keep paying them for this and paying them for that. It just so happens I was one of the lucky cats where I did not have to actually pay a lawyer to do all of that extra shit, that upfront shit that we had already done, that we had already researched. You know what I mean? I probably would have had to come out the pocket $5,000 just to get this popping. You know what I mean? You understand?
No question.
Yeah.
You would have had to come out $5,000.
Shit, yeah. So these entities, they count on that, man. They count on that situation where people won't sue them because the money's gonna stack up, and especially if they didn't like really collect a lot of money. Because just like in my case, maybe $600. I'm out $600 with all the shit that I had to go through to pay, with the lawyer fees and just start the lawsuit and all that shit. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous to keep feeding a lawyer money. You know what I mean? If the lawsuit doesn't come out your way, you know what I mean? To start filing appeals and all that kind of shit, you just drop it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, it ain't worth it.
That's the standard tenet of war, though.
Right.
Wars are won when you exhaust the other side's resources.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It goes back to what I said. Law is how politics initiates wars. They thought that you would never have a means to sustain civil, and most people don't have means to sustain civil litigation.
Right.
That was something a lawyer told me a long time ago, and here's what he said. He said the courts are pro-plaintiff in criminal prosecutions. Why? Because the plaintiff is the state. They're pro-defendant in civil litigations. Why? Because the defendant is usually the banks.
Oh, okay.
The corporations.
Okay.
Or the government.
Man. Yeah, that's obvious. That's obvious. They damn sure, man, was
that's
they.
What you facing. So
Yeah.
in this case, they didn't understand that we were conducting guerrilla warfare. That's what this was. We had an objective when we went in there. One, we had to make time. We had to fight the war of the ant. We had to turn the whole thing on its face and make time our ally.
Mm-hmm.
And once they backed down from that debt, that was the beginning of the end. And then they turned around and sent another assessment that said you didn't owe them anything, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
At that point, the next thing that we had to do, the next strategic achievement was to get the judgment.
Mm-hmm.
We got the judgment, right?
Right.
Okay, so now that we got the judgment, we got the zero assessment that says you don't owe them anything. The next thing to get was the judge's signature. We got both the judge's signature. Now, the final stage, they didn't even answer. They didn't even bother to answer because they knew they were wrong.
Right.
And then now, here's where the science of the ant destroys the machine. Because if they're in California, they got to pay somebody $2,500 to show up on a case that they fucked up on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth that. So what happened was you turned the whole thing on its face because now they have to spend money that they didn't think was necessary to spend, or money that they think that we would have had to spend that we didn't have to spend.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that stinks to me about this whole case is the fact that I was not able to, somehow get money out these motherfuckers, man, for getting in my bank account. But you said that we wouldn't be able to do that, unless we had a jury trial.
Yes, because in this instance, what would happen is that a jury in a jury trial, attorney fees and court costs and punitive damages. You can assess punitive damages only if the case is tried in front of a jury.
Mm-hmm.
If this went in front of a jury, you would have what's called treble damages and punitive damages, which are related, but they're not necessarily the same. Punitive damages is when you're asking the court to punish a party because their actions are so egregious that this is the only way that they're going to get the message that their conduct is wrong. Treble damages is saying, look, you did this on purpose. And because you did this on purpose, you deserve to suffer a penalty. And because you did this on purpose, I'm going to award the victor in the case 3 times the amount of the money that he lost. Mm-hmm. That's treble damages.
Shit.
You with me so far?
Yeah.
So in this case, they were so foul that they said, well, okay, he got us. We fucked up. He got us. So from their perspective, the simple thing is just to not answer it because in their mind, one, they think you're going to have to keep spending to collect, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, they know that if they went to court and they lost, they would lose much more money than if they just simply had not answered. Mm-hmm. And so that's what they did. They didn't answer.
Smart son bitches, boy.
Yeah. So it's easier for them to just take the L. It's easier for them to just take the L, and now you got to collect money.
Mm-hmm. Shit, yeah, they lucky, man, that they didn't fight that shit. I was gonna ass rape them hoes, boy.
Yeah. And they do that because if they came here, first of all, they would have had to pay an Ohio attorney to fight you. Mm-hmm. And so right away, that's going to be for them. It's going to be the cost that they thought you paid. See, they thought you paid $5,000.
Right.
They don't know what happened on this end. Mm-hmm. So now the cost to them for them to defend in a foreign court is exorbitant compared to what they did. Mm-hmm. They collected a minuscule amount of money, but yet what they got to shell out to defend what they took, it's disproportionate. So why even do it?
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
See,
boy.
Law. People think law is just about knowing the law. I tell people there are three areas of the law. There's the practice of law, the politics of law, and the business of law.
Right.
All of that is involved in the legal industry. Those are three distinct entities, three distinct paradigms within the practice of the legal system. What are the politics of law? What is the business of law? Well, the politics of law is where you go get this Jewish lawyer here that she knows, who is an attorney in her juvenile cases. Mm-hmm. Politics. She knows him. She's familiar with him. Yeah. She has confidence in him. You get him as a co-signer. That's the politics of law. Mm-hmm. So now, she ain't going to question anything you say. Why? Because that's somebody in her circle. Mm-hmm. That's her alleged peer. That's somebody in her peer group. Yeah. That's somebody in her social and intellectual circles. That's the politics of law. What's the business of law? Why are we going to fight these guys? We only took a minuscule amount of money. Hell, if we go and retain a lawyer, we're going to pay 10 times what we took from him. Mm-hmm. And there's no way we're going to be able to beat this guy in court because we got the wrong motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So if we go to court and we lose, we risk the possibility of getting hit with treble damages plus attorney's fees. Fuck that. We ain't going to even answer it. Mm-hmm. Let him collect.
Shit, at least let him try.
Yeah, let him try. The business of law, the practice of law, and the politics of law.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Those are two different entities.
Okay.
Those are three different entities. So why do it?
Yeah, man.
So right now, we're getting ready to collect, and we're going to collect.
Right.
We're going to collect. Or even if we don't collect, we chase the motherfuckers forever. Mm-hmm. Wasn't that what they going to do to you?
Oh, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Shit. I'm going to chase these hoes. You going to give me my 600, bitch. You going to give me my money. You know what I'm saying? I told her, because all the time I'm on the phone with this broad, man, she's like, no, you can't do this. First, she told me I can't sue. And I was like, yeah, I can. And then she was like, we didn't get served. Bitch, I'm talking to you right now about the service. How you gonna tell me you ain't been served when you telling me about the service? I was like, man. And then they told me she was, that they was wrong and she was gonna send me my money. Did they send me my money? No. Mm-mm. And I knew they wasn't gonna send the money. I like, you's a lying ass broad, man. You just, I like, okay, you want to play games? Because I knew she wasn't gonna send my money. You know what I mean? I knew it.
So now, you presented me with a garnishment order. Allow me to give you one.
I'm being your bank account, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
You, one garnishment order deserves another one. You were in my shit, now I'm going to return the fate. Mm-hmm.
Just imagine how funky that is, man. It's like these mugs, they don't even want to give you the money back that you use to fight them. It's like, I'm not even asking for no extra, bitch. I just want the money that I use to get you out my face.
Yeah, what did she say? So you have my court card. No, that's you, because you chose to sue. Well, bitch, the only reason I chose to sue is because you wouldn't back off and listen. Mm-hmm.
I was like, boy, were you listening to this nonsense? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe the stuff I was listening to, man. So let me tell you cats something right now, just in case this ever happens, because I don't know, maybe there's cats out there who have actually dealt with this entity, the State of California Franchise Tax Board. Look out for these people, man. They are lawless, and they are, bruh, it's like some mafia shit, man. Like I said, it's like, fuck you, pay me. They don't give you any sort of accounting of any sort of debt. They just waltz up, get in your account, and say, you owe us money. And we don't have to prove that you owe us. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind just in case You know what I mean? You come up with these cats because we did a lot of research on the line, and we found that there was a lot of people who were having problems out of the state of California Franchise Tax Board who were doing basically illegal, what do you call it?
Collections.
Illegal collection procedures, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you need go no further than their own damn site. Go to their site and go to Google and listen to the reviews that people have of the state of California Franchise Tax Board. I tell you, it's the worst shit that was ever created.
Man.
There are massive multi-million-dollar lawsuits against the state of California Franchise Tax Board for fraud, bad faith, violations of due process.
Man.
This is common record. This is public record.
Going back to
common
the 80s.
Knowledge.
Yeah, going back to the 80s, man.
Yeah, going all the way back to going back 30 damn years ago. So it's not like anybody don't know these motherfuckers are the equivalent of common criminals. What you say, the mafia, that's what it is. Fuck you, pay me. Why are you doing this? Fuck you, because I can. No, not today. Not today. You just picked the wrong niggas.
Ooh, shoot. Yeah, boy, I know they was like, what is this shit? Like, are they serious? You goddamn right, boy. I got Tony Maceo on the motherfucking, on the job, man. Shit. Yeah, I would have been ass out. Like, if I didn't know you, I'd have been ass out. I had to shell out at least $5,000 to save me from getting ass raped by them for $14,000. You know what I'm saying? That is if I would have even won it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no guarantee, like, if I did get a lawyer that I would even want it, because from what I'm seeing about the so-called legal system, man, is, you know, I don't know.
It's not as simple as being right.
Nah, exactly. I could be right all day, but there's so many other variables involved in it. I may not have came out on the winning end, even if I would have had a so-called real, authentic lawyer. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's the other part of the game. People will go run and get these attorneys, and then what these attorneys will take those cases and do what the judges do. They put that shit in their filing cabinet.
Yep.
And then when the court dates come up, they don't know what those cases are about.
Right. So
then what they're doing is they're trying to settle the cases because they hadn't done any work on those cases, but they got your goddamn money.
Yep.
And so you got paid to get sold out by your own counsel.
Yep.
So in this instance, they didn't expect us to fight them back, but we did. They didn't expect us to get a judgment, but we did. And they don't expect the garnishment order to come, but it's coming.
You goddamn right, it's coming.
This is one of the things that they look, let's just leave these niggas alone. It's just easy to give them their shit back.
Right.
Than to sit here and go through this. Because again, I'm sure they think that we expended $5,000. They think we shelled out massive amounts of money to do this, and that's not what happened.
Right. Like I said, 600.
We employed some power trick fundamentals.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready. They ain't ready, son.
To limit your expenses. Because there was an understanding of the court system and a working knowledge of the field of battle. Our expenditures were minimal.
Yeah.
That is power trick principle 101.
Shoot, man. Yeah. And you know, shit, like there's a small chance that, man, even if we hadn't paid the lawyer at the very end, we still, would have won that 90%. There's a 90% chance that they just would have signed it and said, okay. You know what I mean? But we didn't really have to do that at the end, man. But it was the safest bet. You know what I mean? It was the safest bet. Like, let's not play no games. Let's not tempt fate. You know what I mean? Because they've been acting real funky. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we could have did it all by ourselves. No problem, man. Which we basically did. He was just a prop.
Yeah. That whole case, we litigated that case. We just brought him in.
Just to look pretty.
Just to look pretty. We just brought him in for appearances. We conducted that war. The only thing he did was come in and seal the deal.
Yep.
That's it.
Sure.
Because by the time he stepped in, the only thing he had to do was walk in the court and say, this happened, this happened, this happened, give him the money.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened. So at this point, it's like, well, there's no need to worry about anything. Now we'll chase you. Now we'll send garnishment orders to your banks and see what happens.
Man.
And this time around, we're not calling you. We're calling the Attorney General, which we don't think we have the sense to do anyway. We're too stupid to know to call the Chief Legal Officer of the fucking state. Man. They think we don't know to do that.
Hell nah, man.
But we're going to show them how wrong their asses are. So this little excursion shows you again, it's not always about being right. It's more to it than just being right.
Right.
There's always more to it than just being right. You have to know how the game is played. But here's the most important part. First of all, you got to have the balls to play the game.
Right.
You can't complain. You can't whine. You can't fold like a bitch.
Because, look, man, I ain't even going to front, man. You know, when I brought it back up to you, I'm like, man, these motherfuckers is back in my account, man. And you was like, well, you know what you got to do. And I'm like, man, I think I know what you going to say. Like, you got to sue them, Mac. You got to sue. You know, and not to say that I'm a bitch, man, but, you know, court, man, that's such a goddamn hassle. No, it's not necessarily intimidating. It's just such a hassle, man, going down there, being in front of these motherfuckers and just, you know, I was like, man, but I was just like, he right. There's no other way around this shit because they ain't going away. They not going away. I was just like, man, that's the last thing I want to do is go to goddamn court over this fuck shit, man.
Well, I mean, you can complain and just talk about white supremacy.
Yeah.
The unfairness of the world. You can bitch about how unfair it is, and you can sit here and bitch about how the white man fucking.
But this is
that was your alternative.
Yeah, but like I said, this is a classic case where IQ is highly relevant. You know what I'm saying? Because I know somebody now. Y'all look. I'm not trying to make myself like what's the word I'm looking for? Man, my thought processes are so fucked up these days. But yeah, I did very little in this. This was basically all Tony. So IQ is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? Just like there's a lot of brothers I know that's in prison and in jail, you know, because of this very same court process. You know what I mean? They didn't have the intelligence to understand how the game was played. But fortunately, I knew someone who knew. He had the intelligence, the IQ to understand how the game was played within the court system, man. And we beat him. You know, simple as that. Even though they was trying their best not to give us the victory trophy, man. They didn't want to give us the belt. But, nigga, we did it. Shit. So intelligence is very, very important. But people keep talking about how, you know, intelligence is not, you know, I just like, man, you motherfuckers, you got to, I don't have the words.
That's what, in warfare, the general, that's your brain.
Right.
The general is the brain of warfare. That's your IQ. That's your military IQ.
Man.
That's the motherfucker that's supposed to be competent.
Right.
You can't fight a system if you don't understand how it works. But most of us are too busy running from that system because to you it may not be intimidating, but to the average nigga in the hood, man, they ain't trying to fuck with the court.
Right.
They trying to stay as far away from the court. They don't want to fuck with no police. They don't want to fuck with no courts because they don't want to get entangled with it. But those people, that's the central nervous system of your political and social life. You got to deal with them. Yeah, it's a bitch. Yeah, it's cumbersome. Yeah, it's tedious. Yeah, that shit is nerve-wracking. But what's the alternative? alternative? To lay down and let these motherfuckers fuck over you?
Oh yeah, that's what happens a lot, man.
You know, and that's what I tell these motherfuckers. I said, now, if I rob you, I tell these niggas in the street, I said, now, if I rob you, you gonna come for me, guns blazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gonna do all kind of shit to me. You gonna shoot me. You gonna dismember me. You know, you gonna do all kind of fucked up shit to me to send a message that you're not to be fucked with. I said, but when the police rob you, they rob you yeah, you wrong. Yeah, you doing some fuckery. But they rob you in violation of your own due process rights, and you don't even contest it.
Man.
But me, if I rob you, you got all kind of venom for me, but when they rob you, you sit there and take it like a hoe.
Right.
You know, you a lapdog when it comes to another nigga. But when they touch you, you a top dog. When it comes to another nigga, you are an attack dog.
Mm-hmm.
But when they touch you, you a lapdog.
Man.
That ain't never been my style.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Man.
I've been victimized too much in my life. And this what I got. I got this through the process, through the school of hard knocks. Everything I learned, man, I learned because I seen some very painful shit go down, either with myself or with somebody who I knew or who I loved. I saw them violated in the most egregious ways possible. And I said, no, you can't keep letting this happen. You're going to have to learn how to fight back.
You's a beta male ass nigga. What you talking about fighting back? You's a beta.
No, I bring the war, cuz.
You's a beta male ass nigga, mate.
Fuck all that shit they talking about. I bring the war. No matter which context it's in, I bring the war. I don't care who it is. If you violate me, I'm going to bring the war. It's on. I don't care if you got a black robe on. I don't care if you the state. I don't care if you the police. I don't care if you some nigga in the streets. I'm going to bring it. Now, when I get you, I may not get you in the way that you think I should get you, but I'm going to get you in the way that I know I'm going to get you.
When it's all said and done, you know, your adversary will know that they have been in a war.
Absolutely.
They gonna know that, man, I don't pick the wrong one. It's a long, protracted battle here. Okay.
Absolutely. That's what it is. You have to make that process as painful as you, even if you get your ass kicked.
Man.
Even if, because see, that's what having a father does. A father will tell you, even if he put your ass on, even if people are getting their lunch off you, you have to get your breakfast off of them. They have to pay a price for fucking with you, because next time they'll go somewhere else. That's the playground politics, is what that is.
Right.
On the schoolyard, when a bully is used to whooping your ass and you hit it one good time, all it takes is for you to hit it one good time. I guarantee you he won't bother you again.
Right. He gonna look for easier prey.
You're going to look for easier prey. You know, and so these systems, the courts, the insurance companies, they're used to, the courts, the insurance companies, the banks, they're used to violating people. When they sent you that assessment, do you know how many people would have paid that shit?
Shit.
They would have rolled over and said they got to, and what they would have done, they would have, just kept running. They wouldn't have even bothered to face off against them. They would have kept running. What you running for? You right.
Right.
They violate you and you running.
Well, it comes down to, once again, not necessarily justice. It comes down to who has the bigger war chest and who can actually litigate, the situation in court, man. So a lot of people are running because they don't have $5,000 to pay a lawyer for that shit, man. Yeah. They
don't. A lot of them don't. But what they do have is access to, especially a lot of people don't even know about these legal aid agencies. And it's because these legal aid agencies are poorly funded and poorly staffed, or they're underfunded and poorly staffed. There are a lot of agencies out there that can help people. People just don't know about.
Okay.
I just knew how to do this because I've been doing this shit for the past 10 years.
Okay.
But there's a lot of resources. There are a lot of resources out here that can help people. They just don't know about them. Knowledge is power. It really is. Or should I say knowledge is empowering.
Okay. Damn sure is, man. Cause shit, if I didn't have that Tony Maceo knowledge with me, like I shudder to even think. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to pay no $5,000 to do this shit, man. You know, I ain't trying to pay no $5,000. I got lucky. The pimp gods have been kind to the FatMack. That's all I can say.
You know, but again, like you said, IQ does factor in, and I'm not saying that's any self-aggrandizement. I'm saying it just as a matter of course. You have to understand what you're doing, and you have to have the understanding to know that you have to talk to people in the language that they understand. A lot of times when we fight people, we're always coming from, and I hate this term, we're coming from our streets. You're always relying on your street sense, that defensive mechanism. What we did was an offensive measure. What they did was some evil shit, so we took the war to them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We took the war to them.
Yeah. It got to the
They
point.
never in a million years expected a lawsuit.
He shoved it. Tony said, we gonna sue him. I was like, what? He goes, oh, nigga, man, that's shit. He's like, that's the only way this gonna happen, Mac. He's like, man, go ahead and get ready, man. Put your boots on, man. We about to march off the war, son. It's like, all right, let's do it. Shit.
They never expected that to happen in a million fucking years. They never expected somebody in another state to say, that is a standard military, so that's a bold and audacious move. You can put your adversary back on his heels with bold, aggressive action. How are these niggas doing this? For this little amount of money, are you serious? They couldn't comprehend it.
Shit, man. Like, I ain't got a choice, man. You done put me in.
That's what I'm saying. They ain't never looked at the fact that you didn't leave these guys no choice. You gonna sit here and tell them you gonna continuously violate them. You gonna tell this man you refuse to stay out of his account. And then when this man asks you for something basic, such as the reason that you claim that he owe you, you gonna tell him, fuck you, send me your tax returns?
Man, I'm like, whoa, this gotta be fraudulent. This can't be a real bona fide tax agency, but it is. It is. That's the thing that kills me. And they wanted $14,000 from me. And I just wish that they would have just answered, man, so we could have took it to. I really wanted to go to trial because I wanted to ass rape these niggas, man. I wanted to get some thousands out their ass, man. I wanted a trial. I wanted a jury, man. But they were smart enough not to touch it.
Yeah, because if they went to trial, you're right, they would have got ass raped. Because at that point, now you can get attorney's fees. Now you can get punitive and treble damages. Now they will be exposed as fully fraudulent in a foreign jurisdiction.
Right. Yeah. So now they the ones that's scared to answer. Now they the ones that's quiet. Now they the ones that ain't answering their phones. You know, they ain't answering. Man, because it was like a couple times I actually tried to call them back. And I guess they know my number because they wasn't answering. Before that, lawsuit, they was picking up the phone just, quick fast. Man, we hit their ass with that lawsuit. That shit went over the voicemail.
Well, again, you seen somebody that wasn't scared to back up. Would you want to fight them now?
Shit, if I was in their shoes, hell no. I'd leave them motherfuckers alone. Because it's obvious that they fraudulent, man. Shit. So.
You said, okay, these niggas didn't back up. And then when they got a judgment, wait a minute, now they got a judgment. How the fuck did they do this? Well, we done already sent them paperwork to show that we're wrong. We admitted that we're wrong, so why would we continuously fight them? Because it's only going really.
Mm-hmm. I did, man. I was ready. I was like, man, there's no way we can lose this shit. There's no way we can lose this shit, man. And then once, I was like, shit, I know we got a cool-ass Jew lawyer, in the back pocket, man. I was like, bruh, man, I think we gonna stack some cheese off this one. We gonna stack some cheese off this one. But nope, they were smart enough, to see further enough into the future not to even answer. So I'm only stuck with a $600 payday, man. But that's just getting back what I put into it, basically. That's all I wanted in the first place. Shit. That hole on the phone told me, no, I couldn't get it. I'm like, well, okay. We'll see about that.
Well, see, the thing is, she don't know.
Right.
She's just doing that because I'm me, because I say so.
Hey,
so,
your quality is bad.
Hold on. She doing that because I'm the state and I say so shit.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not, you can't do it because I say you can't do it. You can't win because I say you can't win. So do what the fuck I tell you to do. No, I'm not doing what the fuck you tell me to do. As a matter of fact, fuck you. Pay me.
Fuck you, pay me. Shit. Hell yeah. Shit. So what's going on, man? You are we coming down to the point where you got to bounce, man? Because I know you said you had a schedule, man.
Yeah, I got to bounce. I got to go teach my kids chess. I got a chess course today.
Shit, well, that's
and I
what's
got to
up.
go teach them chess.
All right,
and
man.
That chess class is normally from about 3:30 to 4:30.
Okay. Well, go ahead,
so,
man.
This was just a little short something.
Yeah.
But in the future, you guys need to know if this is what we went through at the micro level, and I'm sure we're going to cover this on another show, just think of what Mr. Cosby went through at a macro level.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, go ahead and shout out, man, your spots on the internet, man, because you're doing your own thing, man. The solo joints, which are very empowering, man. I've been checking them out, man. Let the cats know, what you're doing online, man.
Okay. Well, first, of course, we got powerandstrategy.com, which is the home base. There's a YouTube channel. You can go to powerandstrategy.com. I have my articles there. You can donate, like, share, subscribe to the website. You can donate if you want. Partake of the articles. I also have podcasts there telling niggas how to get paid selling weed legally.
Mm-hmm.
I have that on my Patreon. I have a Patreon page, which is Power of Strategies on Patreon,
mm-hmm.
where I lay out how you get paid selling marijuana, either as a grower or as a marijuana dispensary. I'm about to upload another podcast, and probably by today, telling people how they can get jobs in the marijuana industry. And those jobs pay anywhere from $15 to $25 an hour.
Mm. Okay.
So my shit is going to be designed to not only inform cats, but to tell them how they can get their paper on in this industry. So I got the Patreon Power of Strategies page, the website powerstrategy.com for all my articles. I'm also a writer at the Negro Manosphere.
Okay.
Check out my articles on there. My articles tend to be on the lines of economics, politics, and history. You can also catch up with me, like I said, through the YouTube channel, which I upload regularly. I'm trying to, bust that 100 mark with respect to my subscribers.
Okay.
I will be uploading another YouTube podcast soon with respect to the distribution of marijuana legally, how to get paid off of it. And, that's about it. Catch me at Power and Strategies. Like I said, donate to the site, become a patron, like, share, and subscribe to articles. Check me out on the Negro Manosphere. I have a current article up there right now. Today, my articles debut every Tuesday on the Negro Manosphere. I have an article up there about a man by the name of Curtis Carroll. Curtis Carroll is in prison and trading stocks on Wall Street, and he is a millionaire from a San Quentin prison cell.
Well, white supremacy didn't hold him back.
No, evidently not.
What? He didn't use white.
He
didn't say the white man's is holding it down.
No, the white man didn't hold it down. Matter of fact, he's teaching the white man what to do with his retirement plan.
Damn.
The white man is his client.
Imagine that. Man. Okay. All right, then, man. We're going to go ahead and explore this at a later date, man. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go, man. And I'm just going to let my partners know right about now. Man, me in the shows, I'm trying my best to really get motivated, man. I'm trying my best to really get motivated. Matter of fact, right after this show, I'll probably do me a little solo joint, man. Just, cause I'm just tired, man. I'm just trying my best to just get back into the flow. I'm mentally lazy right about now. I really don't know what's wrong with me. But, we go in cycles, man. Ebb and flow, peaks and valleys, man. So it's the big Mike. Oh, Lord. It's the FatMack. Almighty.
Still got to do the Cosby Show, too.
Oh, no doubt.
This sexual harassment shit.
Yeah, we're going to be back with that. Matter of fact, when you get back from doing everything you're doing today, hit me up later tonight and we'll knock that out, man.
Word.
Shit. So, hey, you want to give me a time?
Let me see. I should be back here around 6 p.m. Around 6 p.m.
Okay, that'll work. I'll go ahead and charge the joint up, man. I'll be expecting your call, cousin.
All right, brother.
All right, we out.
We out.